Hi guys, we're about to show you what college students do best.
Hey, no, come on, Ashley, come on, no, we gotta study this.
Study!
But before we begin our video, let's go over some basic study tips. First of all, try to study in 15-minute increments. Second, try to review the information at least twice, preferably on separate days. And finally, get some sleep before the exam. You have no idea how much it helps.
Hi guys, I'm Matthew. I'm here to teach you advanced studying tips and reviewing tips. First and foremost, flashcards are a big help. Or you can just test out the course, whichever you prefer. Reviewing tips. Use previous lab manuals or lab notes that you've taken. Take your time, and above all, do not quit in.
We're going to talk about the sharks. The sharks come from the phylum Chordata and the subphylum Vertebrata. In the class, it is the chondrocytes. So they pose characteristics of both Chordata as well as having a vertebral column, a cranium, and an endoskeleton of cartilage. Fun facts about these sharks. They are in the diverse clade of knobstones, with the Greek word meaning that they have jawed mouths. A couple of other facts about the shark is in order to tell the male from the female doesn't have the clasper. They have a keen sense of smell, so watch out for getting cuts in the water. If so, swim fast, because I don't know what else to tell you, because, yeah, I'm not going out there. Their scales are analogous to teeth, so their teeth are not socketed in their jaws. So if they fall out, the teeth can just regrow again. There's no problem with that. They have an endoskeleton of cartilage, which is so light that it keeps them buoyant. And they also have to swim around almost all the time, meaning they rarely get sleep because they have to keep swimming to keep the oxygen flowing throughout the body. The female has 3 ways of reproduction as far as laying eggs for their young. They can either lay eggs, and sometimes they put it in a pouch, which is called the mermaid pouch. They carry it in a pouch. They can lay eggs within the body, but there's no placenta to nourish the young. Or they can have the eggs inside the uterus, and the placenta would nourish the young.
Hi guys, I'm going to be talking about the tissue layers. The first one is diploblastic. It has 2 germ layers. It's ectoderm. The outer layer forms skin and nerve cells. And the second one is endoderm. It forms protection for your organs. And the third one is the other one is triploblastic. It has 3 germ layers, ecto and endo, and it has mesoderm. It forms connective tissues and muscle.
For this exam, we're also going to have to deal with bones. For our skulls, we're going to have to tell the difference between great ape bones and human bones. There are 3 main characteristics you have to look out for. First is called the foramen magnum, or the hole at the bottom of the skull that the spinal cord goes through. In humans, this is in the center of the skull, and in the great apes, it's towards the back. A second feature is the zygomatic arch, the cheekbones. It allows jaw tissues to go through and connect our jaws. They are far more pronounced in the great apes than they are in humans.
Hey guys, I'm going to teach you the reproductive systems for male and female distinguishes in the lab dissection we've done over the semester. First and foremost, the squid. Everyone knows the squid. Now, you can look at a male and see their cecum. However, in some females, there are cecum as well defined. The easiest way to distinguish is to locate the testes in a male. The testes should be located behind the cecum at the top region of the squid. If the female does have a cecum, it will instead contain ovaries rather than testes. Moving on, there will be the frog. To figure out easily which one is male or female, the frog for a male will have touch pads. The bigger the touch pad leans toward female. The smaller the touch pad will lean toward male. The male can also be due to size. Now, you cannot rely on the size, but hearing from that sound, it's a male mating call. Thank you, Ashley, for that. Moving on to the next one, we have the shark. Sharks, you can also tell from relative size, but it is not a distinguishing factor. If we cut open a shark, we can look at the female. The female does have ovaries. They're contained in the liver, in the midsection, behind a sac-like membrane. The sac-like membrane contains these ovaries. Next on, the male. Male has testes located in the lower region of the shark. Size is also considered irrelative at this point. Moving forward, we have the rat. Easily determined, rats have testes and a penis.
These nuts.
Females have ovaries, and there are no testes and penis located in the female. If there are, please advise your local animal control. Lastly, the crayfish. The crayfish. For the male, you can look at the swimmerets. There will be two main swimmerets located near the front portion of the tail region, or also known as the abdomen. The swimmerets are two long swimmerets pointed forward, going toward the direction upward. The females do not have these two long swimmerets, so it's easy to distinguish between male and female. On another note, size is not a factor. Thank you.
Continuing our discussion about bones, we should also take a step back and examine the phylum Chordata. Chordata basically have a central supporting structure for all the tissues. Subphylum Urochordata is basically a U-shaped organism. It's microscopic and is readily distinguishable. Cephalochordata is basically the lancet. It's just a long, thin little organism, almost like a fish. After that, we get into the vertebrate structures, which, as you may guess, we already are. Cyclostomata is basically that hagfish that we had seen, you know, the thing that produced all that mucus. Chondrichthocytes, if I'm saying it correctly, are the sharks that my classmate has already gone over. Now, the two types of fish, ray-fin fish and lobe-fin fish, well, their names are fairly difficult to spell, but I typically look at the very first part. For example, the ray-fin fish, actin, you know, as in actors, you know, they often have those little fans that they use to fan themselves. Ray-fin fish. Then finally, Sarcopterygian. I don't know. Anyway, those are the lobe-fin fish, and I always see the lobe-fin fish as rather sarcastic, hence SARC. Amphilia. Well, I'm sure we all know what amphibians are, frogs being the most common one. And reptilia. Oh, that should be another one that's very common to you. You know, like snakes, lizards, that like. Aves, or avian, are basically the birds. And then we come to us, finally, the mammals.
We're going to identify the different body cavities. Organisms that are coelomates are ones that do not have any body cavities. Example of those are Porifera, which are the sponges. Pseudocoelomates are fluid-filled body cavities that are in between the endoderm and the mesoderm. Examples of those are nematodes. And coelomates are organisms that have true coeloms, which are body cavities that are entirely enclosed by the mesoderm. Examples of those are chordates.
When the love is on the fly, you look in my eyes, you love it. Sing for my flight, turning so bright. Been singing for a time, when a song that you did love my heart, you did love my soul, you did love my sing to shit our girlfriend and our soul. You did love my soul. Da 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 da. You look in my eyes to this sing it last one time. This sing it last one time to love it. And the love and the way to the life is the great. The life is the great for this better. When the love is on the fly, you look in my eyes to love it. Sing for my flight, journey so bright. Been singing for a time, when it's all you did